Dr. Zara sent request.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to see you too.
Thank you for joining us on. How's everything, Dr. Zara?
Yeah, it's fine. Working from home with children. It can't be more fun than this.
Wow, this is fantastic. This is a good application. Made us stay at home and do home office.
Yeah, exactly. Probably. Yeah.
Fantastic. Before you join us, I was talking about you, how brilliant idea you got. And before I was thinking I am the only person traveling and living in different countries. But after that, I saw you. I give up because you are multi-country person I have seen.
No, thank you. But I was quite lucky when I was young to travel around and work in different countries and probably become a whole different person.
Yeah, that is really true. That's true. So welcome again, and we will going to start very fast because we don't have that much time, and we're trying to keep our time for 40 minutes.
Of course.
So we have many things to talk with you. First, let us start with your short introduction, please, about your study background, your work study, and every entrepreneur project that you work and deal with that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I think I've done this introduction with you multiple times, but I'm going to do it again. So I'm Zara Zamani, but I have dual degree in engineering in electrical electronics and petroleum engineering. And I've done, I worked as a field engineer in oil and gas industry for quite some time. And in that job, I have traveled a lot. I have worked in many, many different countries. And then I ended up in UK doing international business law also. And after that, I went back to Iran. After quite some time, actually, I started there. When I was in Iran, I noticed that women are not allowed to work as an oil and gas field engineer. And so therefore I either had to just have a normal office job, or the other option was to quit on my dream job, which was the field engineer. Therefore, I always said that I did not choose to be an entrepreneur. I was forced into entrepreneurship because being a field engineer, you can never really have an office job. You really have to do things. You cannot really sit and have a 8 to 4 kind of job. So I thought before I start with anything else in Iran, let me travel a little bit, let me get to know the country. So I did a little bit of traveling. And then while doing that, I noticed that Iran is really, really weak in travel technology, because at that time, anywhere else in the world, you could really book your own trip easily. But in Iran, we were still struggling. At some point, to some cities that I was traveling, I didn't even know, I couldn't even find any hotel online, not even on Google. So I had to go there. And once I was there physically, then I start looking for a hotel, like asking supermarkets or people, where is the hotel around here? So that's why I thought this is an opportunity. This is a limitation, but this is an opportunity. And that's how I started my travel technology business. And I started an IT company working on infrastructure platforms, providing web services and developing solutions for travel industry in Iran, but also connecting to 35 business service providers internationally. So we worked with 35 international companies. We for the first time ever, we managed to have international services paid by Iranian rial in Iran for Iranian travelers, and the other way around for international travelers that were going to Iran to be able to book Iranian services online through international websites. So, and then I strongly claim that we revolutionized travel industry when we started that business in Iran. And then we started working with multiple banks and payment service providers in Iran. And also then I did another master's degree in international business management. And while working with travel technology, eventually you really have to deal with a lot of international transactions and international payments. And that's how I slowly got into knowing different fintech platforms, finance technologies. And I started to get to know technology of blockchain, which I now work with. Yeah. And after some time, I realized that I need now it's time for me again because typically being a person who travels a lot and lives in different countries, it was time for me to leave Iran again. Yeah. And then I left, and meanwhile also I did. I started my PhD, and at the time when I was in Iran, and then I did a PhD in innovation sciences, focusing on blockchain technology and cybersecurity in supply chain. So looking at how possibly blockchain technology can help small and medium enterprises to be more secured in a supply chain. And that supply chain typically doesn't need to be in any specific industry. It can be in travel industry, can be in food industry, can be in oil and gas industry, any industry, can be in healthcare. So, and then when I moved to Sweden, I started working as the head of disruptive technologies with the Metabytes, the company I'm working with, which I'm also a part of the business. And also working as a lecturer and researcher in Halmstad University in Innovation Sciences Department. So that is pretty much about me.
That's fantastic. Great. Well done, Joe.
Yeah. And there's a new business line with supply chain, blockchain-based supply chain solution in construction business. And the business is called Hemstad, which is also going to be launched by the end of this year.
That is lovely. Yeah. So lovely. So innovative and so creatively. Very good.
Thank you.
Dr. Zara, we brought you here because we want to, as you know, that you are from a family with medical background, as I know your family.
Yeah.
And your mother and some of your sisters, I know that they have a medical background. So, so you understand and you feel the reason most of the medical sectors, they need to have a sense of entrepreneurship. We brought you here as a specialist who felt and touched different business problems in different countries. And you touch, especially in Iran and other countries, as we talked before, in UAE or in India or other countries. What you suggest for healthcare and medical groups to improve their business in innovative way? Which lackness you found that some of them, they cannot move the steps as they want?
I would say there are the major obstacle in healthcare sector is this stereotypeness of thinking, because a lot of the people in healthcare in the sector, including doctors or pharmaceutical experts or nurses or midwives, they have this stereotype mindset that they don't consider themselves as business owners. They typically have to provide service in public sector, which can be, most of the time, has to be hospitals or clinics. Or the best they can come up with is to have their own private clinic. That would be like the end of entrepreneurship journey, probably for the ones that are most advanced in that kind of mindset. But one obstacle is that is stereotype thinking that makes them change resistant. Mm-hmm. So they are typically, because they have gone through a lot of education, that they think they don't need to start a business anymore. They need to be well paid because they have that robust education, which is not the case today, unfortunately. And we had this really interesting discussion because, as you know, I have quite many of them in my family. So I have my mom, who comes from this sector, and she has a total entrepreneurship mindset, and that is because she was an entrepreneur before she goes to healthcare center. And I have another family member who probably doesn't want me to say that, who doesn't have that mindset, who struggles with the fact that people in technology and young entrepreneurs in technology can make a lot more money than a doctor. And that still is hard to accept for them. And that is because they think they have a lot higher education, and why should they not be paid as much? But the fact is, in entrepreneurship, you buy your own time, but to work as an employee, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor or whatsoever, you sell your time. And to buy your own time, you always pay a lot higher because it's your own, you appreciate it. And to sell it, you have to sell it based on the price that the buyer is buying. So you cannot really go high.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So there needs to be thinking like entrepreneur or being as a leader. Sometimes is blamed by doctors and healthcare sector. They were thinking that sometimes they come to talk and discuss with me. They say the medical care is a holy business. It's not business. You should not count it as business. So we want to do it just as serving the people in proper way, and God pray will come after us. It is completely true. This is
which is true. Yeah,
it's true. It gives satisfaction. But nowadays, in this time, in this generation, we have many medical healthcare sectors that they started their business, they started their clinic and private practice, but unfortunately, they didn't get enough income through that, so they reached to bankruptcy. So in this time, they understood that they need this mindset and they need some coach, they need some help. How a coach can help them?
Yeah, I think the first thing that they need to understand is, I understand that there is a very thin line between wanting to contribute to the society by creating job, by being an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs wanting to only make money. So there is this thin line that a lot of people misunderstand this. A lot of people think that if they, in healthcare, specifically in healthcare industry, they think if they become an entrepreneur, then they are becoming a materialistic person typically, and they're looking for money, going after money, and not taking care of the patients, which can be the case. We are not denying it, but that is totally up to them how they want to pursue their entrepreneurship journey. You can still be an entrepreneur and create 10 jobs in healthcare industry and have a lot more patients, and a lot more patient will be happier with you than just only working in a clinic for 5 hours and only seeing 2 patients. So which one of a doctor you want to be? Do you want to be a doctor that sits in a clinic and that doesn't belong to himself or herself and sit there and only see a patient or 2 in 1 hour? Or do you want to be a doctor that cures 50 patients a day? You might make more money in the second case, but you also contribute to the society a lot more in the second. Just making more money doesn't mean that you are becoming an evil or a monster.
Exactly.
So I think that is a typical understanding that needs to be changed. And also, not only for doctors, for a lot of other people who we have different variety of entrepreneurs. We have entrepreneurs that come out of high school. We have entrepreneurs that come out of college. We have entrepreneurs that come out of PhD education. So, and of course, at different ages, different education level, when you start an entrepreneurship journey, you have different needs. And you have to have different understanding of yourself. And you have to be clarified with yourself on what you want to do and how you want to do it, because you don't want to ruin your own character just because you want to be an entrepreneur. And that is exactly where a coach can help you. And to choose the right coach is also something that the entrepreneurs need to be very careful with.
Right. Because a coach should be like-minded with you as a doctor. You should find a coach that be completely suitable for you.
Who has possibly gone through the same, who has possibly been in this more or less the same situation. So if you're a doctor who has been working in high-end hospitals for like 10 years, and you're a surgeon, you're very well, and now you want to start your entrepreneurship, to choose a coach that has been coaching high school startups, that's a total failure. You're going to fail because that coach is not going to help you. But to choose a coach that has more or less the same sort of education and more or less the same sort of business or more or less the same context of society, that is the coach that is going to help you, because you don't want to waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy to find a suitable and proper coach, because everybody advertising themselves as a coach, that we are, for example, your personal coach, we are your business coach, we are your training coach, but exactly what they want to give, the value added they want to give to our business.
Exactly.
It should be verified and be sure that he's a competent person to be a real coach.
Exactly. Today, this world today is a very situational world. There is nothing absolute in it. And if you want to list the job description of a business coach, it will not differ from me or to you to any other coach or a startup coach or high school startup coaches. It is not different. The job description is exactly the same, but how you do it and for whom you do it and in what context you do it is different. So probably if I start telling you as a coach that I will clarify your mind, we will set your goals together, we will have motivational sessions, the business coach who coaches actually high school starters will tell you exactly the same thing. But how we have motivational sessions with you as a doctor is totally different context with how we do it with this. So that is the difference. And that is something an entrepreneur should understand first himself or herself.
Yeah, exactly. Because the coach should know some psychoanalysis and he should understand the psycho of the candidate. Plus, he should know about local business that's running in that location. He should get some idea. It is not easy. It's not easy just you open one reference book, just study from that and train. It's analyzing multidimensional of a person, from his business, from his family life, from his lifestyle, from the place he wants to start a business, and what potential skills he has, and if it is potential to increase her level or no.
Exactly.
So now, I was trying to reach to this point because we had many questions, but I closed and I turned off the commenting because I don't want the internet speed to come down. Yeah. So at the end, we will go to Q&A session.
Of course.
For some courses that we started with Lilly Mom, with you for our healthcare entrepreneurs candidates. We are starting to have some different subjects. So can you please explain about that? The people know, our folks, they know what we are doing as a practically training, not only talking. And you have a background of training different group in different countries. You can even mention those coaching experience.
Yeah, sure. When it comes to coaching, like I said, there's a lot of context, situational context that we need to take into consideration. And also there's we now live in a very, very dynamic world. So I want to talk only about technology perspective, and that is because that is my expertise. And talking about technology is changing day by day. So we live in a very dynamic world. There is nothing that we can never compare even today with last week. Not even last, and totally this COVID-19 pandemic totally proved that you cannot really compare today with yesterday. And how things are changing, that means that leaves us with this question: are we also changing as quick as the world around us? Exactly. Are we also prepared for all of these quick changes, or are we going to get depressed after a few months? Because then we cannot really catch up. Because we think that we are left behind a lot, that never mind, let's just give up. So, yeah. And that's why the whole idea, if you remember, the whole idea of having this courses came to the mind, that the courses we are having now, we are starting with some hopefully entrepreneurs to be in Iran, but we can also, of course, have it in the United States or Europe or anywhere else. I have groups that I coach from all from East Asia to Latin America, so it doesn't really matter where. We can have these trainings everywhere, and that is where we. And this whole, let's just take this Corona crisis at the moment as an example. We are now constantly hearing about post-Corona, all economic crises that are awaiting us and that are going to happen. But are we prepared for it? Just reading about it and just sitting and waiting for it to happen is not going to save our life. And is it all going to be really that negative? Looking at what we're doing today, we are sitting at home, working from home, using all the technologies that they already were there. They were already existing. We didn't come up with something really new overnight for Corona crisis that we are facing. The technology was just there. We were just ignoring it. And there is a lot more to actually explore than we really think. So, honestly speaking, we were very prepared for it. We just didn't know it. And we are very prepared for it. We just don't know it. We just don't know how to properly use the tools that we have. Exactly. And that is why we thought having this course is going to really benefit people. A lot of times we have a lot of knowledge loss. And that is because we don't know if what we know is considered knowledge first. Secondly, is we don't know how to take care of this knowledge and take it on board to the next level and to efficiently use it. And all of these courses that we will go through, a life of an entrepreneur and all the challenges an entrepreneur will face, about change management. We will talk about modern leadership. We will talk about modern marketing. We will talk about digital transformation. And by digital transformation, we don't necessarily only mean digitalization. We will need to change not only technology in your business, but also your mindset, your culture. So we will go through all of this. And at the end of the courses, you will hopefully be able to analyze where you're standing and what you need, what will be the next step for you to take to be prepared for the future world to come.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I think that we will have suddenly a group of healthcare competent entrepreneurs coming.
Of course. And I think this both it's something sad and probably mind-blowing thing that will happen, that a lot of people who work in health sector will question themselves after Corona crisis. Was this what they really wanted?
Exactly.
Is this what they really want to do?
That's true.
I don't want to downgrade the beauty of the act that they are doing, because There is nothing more beautiful than what the health sector is doing now. And I totally appreciate this. And I totally understand the risk because, like I said, I don't only talk, I have family members who are there now in hospitals fighting with this, who are, as doctors, in total risk. I have my sister who just got married last week and is in hospital now. And thank you. And we were all telling her not to do it because none of us could travel there. All the flights were canceled, but she wanted to get married because she didn't know what is going to happen to them. In case anything happens to any of them, they didn't want to regret it. They wanted to have it, to get married before anything happens to them. And I totally understand that. So therefore, I totally understand how beautiful and how devoted these people are. But after this crisis, there will be a huge population that they start questioning themselves if this is what they really want, or do they really want to start something new?
Yeah,
and by starting something new, you don't want to throw away all the knowledge that you had before. So you might as well better make use of the knowledge and start a business on that knowledge.
Exactly. Now, most of our doctors started telemedicine and online counseling. Most of them, they were telling me, even we didn't know how to do live on Instagram, and we started to have a live counseling. They're trying, they engage now, and they understood they understood the meaning of e-business, or we call it business, but it is e-service or telemedicine or online visit and checkup. So maybe in future we will need more, and it was a very good startup for all of our doctors that changed their thoughts and their mindset. We are so happy at least we found a solution for this crisis through our digitalization.
Of course.
So for these courses, if you want to start these courses for all of health sectors, how many courses you think that they need to pass? Because they have to get some competence in leadership. They have to change themselves. They have to work in their character or their behaviors and mannerism. Plus, some things should change in them as a woman, especially in different countries with different headache and these different barrier that they have for being an entrepreneur, an investor, or a startup person. Everybody, they have some issue in different countries. So what do you think? If they can come for basic course, is enough for them? Or after basic course, they need some counseling to come with you, with the group, with the team? Or no, they need to pass some other management course or advanced course? How much you suggest that we have to consider for to reach to one mature business way?
To be honest, I don't think there is a time that you can sit back and say, okay, I'm a mature entrepreneur now, because entrepreneurship is an ongoing journey. I can never say that at least for myself, because it's a constant learning. There is always things that you think now you know it the best, and you laugh at your own mistakes that you've done last year, and then next year you do the same thing to your today. So it's a constant learning. But based on my experience, an efficient way to do it is to start with the basic courses. Then to have after the basic courses, then we will have few consulting sessions, and then they will start their own business. And after a few months, then we will see what they really need help with. Is it funding rounds that they want to go with? Is it people management? Is it team management? Is it finance? And what is it that they are struggling with? Then we can have deeper courses, more advanced courses on specifically for their needs. that we can have? Or is it a technology strategies that they are missing? So then we can have more advanced courses based on that.
All right. Yeah, maybe they need some later, more specialized business coach. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's not. It depends that how much they approach and how much they can survive their business through this.
We can always have courses for them, but in entrepreneurship, it's best to experience everything. It's really good to have like I said, this base to start with through these courses. But at the end of the day, it's you as an entrepreneur who needs to go through all the shits that every entrepreneur goes through to really feel it. It's you as an entrepreneur who really have to make mistakes, who have to fail. And just because you have taken courses, that doesn't mean you're going to succeed. And that doesn't mean you're going to make millions of dollars from tomorrow.
Exactly. To be patient, spend time.
Exactly.
This is what exactly they need to know. They should. That's what always I'm telling to my friends.
If that would be the case, everyone was a millionaire now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And they should not expect if they come and attend this course, at the end they will become multi-millionaire at the end of this.
Exactly. No, that is not going to happen.
Never. So we have
the same way that these courses are not going to make the teachers multi-billionaires, the same way it's not going to make you multi-billionaires too.
Exactly, that's true. That's completely true. It's not easy. Yeah. Everybody that we called as an entrepreneur, they spend too much time. They had too much bankruptcy situation, or maybe not bankruptcy. They lost many things. I think they did not give up at all. This is the manner that we have to know if we want to go to start this process. First, you assess ourselves how much we can tolerate and how much we are ready to be entrepreneur. Then we come and register and apply for that.
Exactly.
For the better future, we have to spend time, we have to spend energy, we have to spend our life and actually our young age. So it's not easy to be successful, and it's not easy to be early successful person. We will not reach to success very early.
in doing anything really good, you have to fail. And that doesn't, of course, limit to entrepreneur. Even if you want to be a good doctor, you can't be a good doctor the day after you come out of school. You really have to go through a lot of difficulties. So the same thing goes to entrepreneurship. It's just from different dimensions. Because once you're an employee, then you don't have a responsibility of other people's life. But once you're an entrepreneur, you have your life, your family life, you have all of your employees' life as well. So the dimension is just different. Otherwise, you have to go through making all the mistakes, failures, and which is beautiful for itself.
Exactly. Yeah, you should be really struggling, never be tired.
Exactly.
Full-time work.
You can be tired, but you can't mourn over being tired for long. You can definitely fall down, but you can't sit down and cry over it. You have to start running immediately.
Exactly. Yeah, all of the entrepreneurs, they have cycle of tiredness, they have cycle of boring times of business, they have cycle of even depression, but they are very high energetic people. You
can never be an entrepreneur and saying that I have never been depressed or I have never cried in bathroom alone for hours. You can never be an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you have not really faced it yet.
Exactly.
It's coming for you. Wait for it. It's coming for you.
It's not dreamy. It's real.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
on the other hand, there is exactly. On the other hand, there are things in entrepreneurship that you experience that you can never experience in any other life. The feeling of being your own boss, the feeling of having control over your life, over your time, and the feeling of the fact that you're not selling yourself.
Exactly.
These are the feelings that you will never experience unless you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, exactly. You remember, I remember always one of your words, always you were saying, if I want to be as a employee and like paid work, I feel I am like, I don't want to use that word.
I didn't want to say it.
Otherwise, because it means I sold myself. I don't want to sell myself and people available at that lady.
Exactly.
I want to earn myself and give money to others and make jobs for others.
Exactly. And I think one huge factor that runs entrepreneurship, unlike what everyone else who is not entrepreneur thinks, the people who are not entrepreneurs, they typically think entrepreneurs are after money. This is typically what they think.
Yes.
But the fact is that is wrong. Because in entrepreneurship, at least the first few years, you don't make money. You lose a lot of money.
Exactly.
And entrepreneurs are after the feeling of making others happy. And that is what is and that is what we enjoy. You can lose money, but when you see a smile on other people's face, when you know that you have saved someone's child to go to college, when you know that you have helped someone with their medication because you hired them, that makes your life.
Exactly.
And that is the feeling that makes you run and makes you work and makes you not quit. And of course, in long term, you can make money, you can make a lot of money, and you can enjoy that as well. But that is definitely not the reason you are an entrepreneur.
That's true. They're very big-hearted, very forgiving person, and open-hand person. They are so helpful and always trying to learn. Entrepreneurs always spend money. This is the best investment for them to learn every day and experience. People even free work for some person to learn some experience from people.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we should think that how we can change ourselves. Then we go for entrepreneurship and leadership. I think our friend, they have some question.
Yeah, let's go through them.
They wrote that we are not getting bored this much. This is fantastic topics. In Persian, she's written, Adam khasta nemishe az in mabhas. They are beautiful, Zara. I have a question. And so practice makes perfect, yes. A strong personality, Lara, with one heart for you.
Thank
you. And you can't be an entrepreneur if you don't fail. Very good. Okay, who have a question? Somebody they wrote, I have a question, but okay, Nasir Abbas, you have a question. Please write your question. And we are waiting. I open comments. You can write your question. Yeah. So, no question came. I think everybody just so excited, just they wave their hand to you and are feeling.
But they can leave their questions later here.
We can. Our new course for our Iranian healthcare will be started from tomorrow.
Yes.
It's an online training, and I'm so happy that with Dr. Zara we want to coach our Iranian midwife and doctors.
It's going to be very exciting, I'm sure.
Actually, when I was reviewing their biography, most of them are in the start of the business and they are new graduated. First, they were thinking that they have to find a job. But after some session that I spent time with Dr. Zara and me, the way of their thinking completely changed, and they want to start a business. They don't want to have a daily paid employee, and they want to be owner and project manager.
I think I have a question.
What's the first step, Zara?
If you mean the first step towards entrepreneurship is self-exploring, I think the first step is self-exploring, to really understand yourself, to know yourself, because a lot of us think we know ourselves, but we don't. So to really know what we want, what is our needs, and what is people around us, what is their needs, then I think the self-exploring is the first step towards entrepreneurship.
Yes. So, some more comments. You were great, thank you. And I was enjoying both of you. I really enjoyed both of you. Thank you. It was. I come here.
It was useful and enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your best knowledge. What else? I can't see. This is really great.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen, and you haven't seen the other dimension of Dr. Zara.
There are so many dimensions, because see, this way or this way.
I saw many of that in Iran. She was running one business in US, I remember. You were going to she was pregnant and she was near to be a mother, but she was running one business in Iran, and she brought some samples from that beautiful, fantastic, tasty chocolate. Cream.
Yeah, we had the seafood. Yeah, exactly. We had seafood business and also chocolate business, which, because of the political reasons with United States, we had to stop our United States line only. Otherwise, the business is running through Southeast Asia and Europe still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's a fantastic character. That's why before myself I was thinking I am a very unique woman and everything. Now I don't say anymore.
No. No, you're being so nice.
Thank you. And the last question, thank you for sharing your best knowledge. You should say it in Persian about the entrepreneurship course. We have only 3 to 4 minutes. Can you say in Persian about entrepreneurship course?
Yeah, of course. سویچ کردن از انگلیسی به فارسی.
من یه موقع باید ترجمه همزمان بکنم و بعد
یه لحظه چیز کردم بودم الان چجوری سویچ کنم. Okay.
Sorry, everybody have differently asked us. Can you please explain about our entrepreneurship course that we are starting from tomorrow? Please be here. Only 3 to 4 minutes. I promise you. Not just 3 more minutes.
Okay. But you can listen to Persian to see if you like the language or not. But کلاسای کارآفرینی که داریم یه دوره کوتاه در واقع برای دوستانی که از رشته‌های پزشکی، مامایی یا شاخه‌های پزشکی علاقه دارن به اینکه کارآفرینی رو شروع بکنن، که ما حالا توی این دوره سیلابس‌های مختلفی داریم، واحدهای مختلفی رو داریم، از واحد کارآفرینی و راجع به شخصیت یک کارآفرین که اصلا شما چه نیازهایی دارید به عنوان یک کارآفرین، اصلا آیا شما میتونید یک کارآفرین باشید یا نه، و از لحاظ شخصیتی و چالش ها و اون چالش هایی که دارید به عنوان یک کارآفرین، و بعد رهبری مدرن، سبک های رهبری مدرن، روش های حالا نوشتن بیزنس پلان، بیزنس کانواس مدل و روش های جدید مارکتینگ، دیجیتال مارکتینگ و ای کامرس و حالا دیجیتال ترانسفورمیشن و اون تغییراتی که از لحاظ تکنولوژیک شما باید توی بیزنس ایجاد بکنید و تغییرات و مدیریت تغییر حالا از هم چالش های فرهنگی و تفکری یک کارآفرین تا حالا اون تغییرات تکنولوژیکی که در بیزنستون لازمه که بدید. راجع به همه اینا صحبت میکنیم و یک دوره فشرده کوتاه و به نظرم یک بیس فوق‌العاده برای کسایی که میخوان یک بیزنس رو شروع بکنن که یه فاوندیشن خوبی رو داشته باشن که اصلا ما وقتی راجع به کارآفرینی در دنیای مدرن امروزی صحبت می‌کنیم راجع به چی داریم حرف میزنیم.
دقیقاً همینطور. Can you explain this old course plan in English, please? That maybe our friends, they want to have attend this course and they want to register. Let them know that what is our basic entrepreneurship course.
Yeah, of course. This course, like I said in Persian, which I don't think you understood it, but still, it's a great, short, compact course that really can act as a base for you. If you are in healthcare sector and you want to be an entrepreneur in today's modern world, you need to have a base understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur in such a dynamic world. So we will go through all the syllabuses of life of an entrepreneur and what does it take to be an entrepreneur, all the challenges that you will face, all the modern leadership techniques, all the modern marketing versus traditional marketing. And then as well as e-commerce, we will talk about digital transformation and all the challenges that change management and challenges that you will have to change your mindset, your culture, your thinking, your point of view to all the strategies that you need to take into consideration in starting your business or changing technology or transforming things in your business line. So that will be the whole case, the idea of having this course, like as a base, basically, for you to build on and to be able to have a foundation of what you need to do as an entrepreneur in today's world.
Yeah, it is 24 hours for basic course, and each course is 40 minutes online training. And then we will have some project after each subject for some write-up or some project we will give you, and we'll try to help you to write according to which business you are dealing with and make it more easily understanding for you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, and I written that you can speak about work in Sweden. Actually, our time finished. And now is even we crossed the limited time because we cannot save it or after that, because we want to save and publish in our other social media that the person, some of my friends who are busy in their duty, they could not attend this live. At least they don't lose this chance to have a look at this session. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Zara.
you.
If at the end, for 1 minute, we want to add something. If you have 1 minute, we can.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone on board. I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you can really have such a course that it has all in one, basically, to have your base. And I look forward to starting it and to see all of you there.
Yeah, sure, every time. So please don't forget to drop your comments after this session, or even if we publish in YouTube or on Facebook or any other social media, please drop your comments. If you want to register for this course, you can come here in Lilly. We will provide you about the details and time plan. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Zara.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you for your family. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
دوستان عزیز، امیدوارم که از این بحث لذت برده باشین. انشاءالله فردا شب یک همکار خیلی بی‌نظیر دیگه خواهیم داشت و انشاءالله خدمتون خواهیم بود. دوستان, dear friend, thank you so much for joining us in this session. Hopefully to see you again for our tomorrow session with another perfect and adorable midwife. She is working as the owner and founder of one midwifery clinic. She's very young entrepreneur, very, very attentive and so hard work. I hope you see her and you will get many, many ideas from her hard work. She is traditional medicine, specialized in traditional and Islamic medicine, and has very nice idea. So thank you so much. The last question, Rudikian, very good. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Can I say a message for Ms. Zara about midwifery? Yes, of course. You can write in this session that we will upload it. Then you can write any question. We will ask her to answer you. Attractive Zara, yes, she's so attractive. Perfect. Thank you everybody. متشکرم عزیزان. شب خیلی خوبی براتون آرزو می‌کنم و متشکرم از اینکه ما رو همراهی کردین. لطفاً این لایو رو به دوستاتون توصیه کنین که ببینن تا بتونن برای آیندهشون و برای شغل پزشکی و گروه سلامت و خدمات بهداشتیشون بتونن جدیدی رو برای خدمت به مردم و در کنار ایجاد کارآفرینی برای خودشون داشته باشن. شب خوبی آرزو می‌کنم براتون. فردا اولین کلاس دوره کارآفرینی لیلی ما با خانم دکتر زارا و بنده شروع میشه. انشاءالله می‌بینیمتون برای ثبت نام در دوره ها با خانم صبا یا خانم نیازپری در تماس باشین. شب خوش، روزگار و ایام به کامتون.